previous application. And this is not for a personal improvement service, which is what Rockbridge Barbells was, but it is for a store, comma general or general store. I don't remember how it's listed, but that's how we have our retail uses listed in our zoning ordinance. And then further down, it says with a frontage of 40 feet, the Rockbridge Barbell business, it's not the Rockbridge Barbell business, but it's still the same 40 feet of frontage. Staff does find that the proposed improvements meet the zoning criteria. And on page 9, there are those 3 sign requirements. This is an entrance corridor. It's an overlay district. And we have, I think, 5 different categories. We only provided you with the signage standards. So those would be the signage standards that you would use as your criteria for reviewing and approving this particular request. If you flip over, side note on page 10, we're starting to redact some information because of the continued experiences that some applicants are having by being hit up for additional fees from whatever part of the universe that's coming from. So on page 12, this is part of the application, and it's a good representation of what the sign will look like in that sign cabinet, as well as the multi-tenant sign. Happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody have any questions?
There's the one little thing about the proposed sign is 6.14 square feet in size, must be reduced. Paragraph.
Are you on 9 or 8?
I am on 8. Can you just clarify what's going on there? The fourth paragraph under applicable signage
again,
regulations, is that does not apply here?
No,
That's
again,
what I
that's
thought.
horrible
Okay,
proofreading on our part.
No, that's right.
Rockbridge Barbells must have had something
Got it, yeah.
slightly over 6.
Got it.
And therefore we have a maximum of
Yeah.
6 square feet.
I just couldn't square it all, so got it. Thank you.
We expect that there will be a sign or window request in the future, but it's not part of this application.
Perfect.
In that section, if you just strike that
Got it.
paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for Arnie? All right. Do we have an applicant statement? And if you'll state your name and address for the record.
I live at Stillhouse in Cars Creek, and the address is 150 Walker Street. I'm just upcycling the sign for Rockbridge Barbell. We're just getting vinyl so we can reuse all the material from the sign. It's not lighted. It has lighting, but we're not going to be lighting it. And the one on the street is already existing, and we're just switching out the acrylic for that.
Okay, great.
But
Anybody have any questions for Ms. Bynes? All right, thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Okay, and is there any public comment? And there is not. So we'll move on to commission discussion. Any concerns, questions, thoughts? Looks pretty cut and dried to me. So I guess we'll need a motion. And a second.
Yeah, I think it looks nice. I move to approve the entrance corridor certificate of appropriateness application EC 2026-01 for new signage at 150 Walker Street as proposed by the applicant.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed, and the motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Hope you have good luck with your business. Okay, so moving on to the next item.
Is it the wrong one? The agenda says EC COA 2025-09.
Oh, no, it should be.
Oh, it should be 2026-01.
Okay.
Sorry, I read that and yes, you're right. Thank you so much. Okay, so do we need to go back and amend the agenda for that? Okay, we'll just make note that it is ECCOA 2026-01, not 2025-09 as is in the agenda. So, okay, moving on to, yeah, thank you. That was a very good catch. Moving on to discussion and review of the 2025 PC annual report. We have a letter. Do I need to read this into the record? This.
No, I'm not following the letter. We had some requested amendments, so we made those
Yes.
to the version that you have on your desk this
Right.
evening in red.
Right.
So what was proposed, what was reviewed and recommended for change is that adding CSPDC and parens in that middle paragraph, and then in the last paragraph, just changing that up a little bit to also thank Jeremy Crute of the CSPDC for the comp plan review. So that's why we put that in red, and it's for your consideration.
Any concerns about that addition? No. Okay, great. Do we need to, what do we need to discuss about this particular?
You're good with it and doesn't even require a vote if you're just generally accepting of this is your final staff report. Final annual report, then we'll go ahead and make these two changes or change it back to black and then hand it in tomorrow because it's got to be in council's packet tomorrow.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
goes out.
and thank you for making those changes. So I hope you all got a chance to look through all of this. So when I talk to the city council, I will certainly make note of the fact that just because it is ongoing does not mean that we need to ignore it. We talked about that quite a bit over the course of the months that we've been reviewing these, and I will make note of that. I didn't think that needed to go into this message. But I do think that it's really worth noting. So, and if there's anybody who, wants to attend the meeting it is next Thursday at 7 p.m. You're welcome to do so, and I will be there.
So are the goals and objectives then going in, are they going in, objectives and strategies, sorry, are they going into the annual report too? When you're saying. Gotta have
That was the
marked-
request at the
Oh,
last meeting is to add those. And those are the ones that
Perfectly fine, I just.
that were reviewed. This is the review version before Jeremy was involved with the rest of the comp plan review. So this is what you were reviewing before we got
Right.
to
Yeah.
that point.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. This is I think it's a good idea to give council sort of a status report on what we've been doing and what has been happening with the comprehensive plan. Okay. So that's going on. Other business. Do we have a zoning and planning report?
Kate asked that I provide a polite reminder to complete and submit your financial disclosure statement and your disclosure of real estate holdings by Monday, January 26th or earlier. The big thing that we've been working on for a few months now is the homeowner helper program. And that is now gone live. We've done a little bit of advertising, or at least started advertising. And that's a program where council set aside $250,000 for folks who cannot afford to make improvements on their homes. That there is now a program where they can apply and go through threshold for review and then have a loan through the EDA placed on their property at 0% interest. And the hope is that when the house does turn over as far as sales, that money can be repaid. And then we'll have a revolving loan fund in essence.
Good.
That won't always happen. It might take a while for that to happen, but that program is new, brand new, and we're going to figure out how well we can do with it this first go around.
Do you have, how are you going to let folks know about the availability of funds?
We just started this, so was in this past week's paper. In the previous week, we're putting together a flyer that we will put on our socials and try to get out. Also, we will there are several suggestions at our Threshold Housing Commission meeting last go around about maybe going to radio stations, going to local churches, that kind of thing, to try to get this
I think that's
word
great.
spread.
Yeah. I
We've
think
already had 3 calls so far, just off of 2 ads. So
That's
It
terrific.
was in the Advocate and the News Gazette. Yeah. That was good.
well, unless Doug did it on his own,
Did y'all not, I think it was in, I think.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
he might have done a story. I haven't seen it. So good for him.
Wonderful.
And then the only other thing is at your next meeting, we will include a detailed entrance corridor COA application. And then we're going to have at least the housing chapter for your comp plan update and maybe a little bit more, but that's still to be determined on what Jeremy provides to us. Apologize, this was a little bit of a light meeting. I didn't think till today that I should have added your planned development residential as a conversation, but I didn't consider that last week. So
Well,
you're a little bit light tonight.
I don't think anybody's going to mind going home early. Do we have a city council report?
Yeah, just a couple of items. Our last formal meeting was December 18th, and one item of business that might interest you is they've put together an airport study committee, and John Driscoll will be our representative on that for the city. And then we had a work session on Tuesday, 2 days ago, January 6th, on our 2026 goal setting. And one of the areas of emphasis will be developing Spotswood and in the VDOT properties. And then our next meeting next Thursday, we'll have the public hearing on the WNL Founders Hall Master Plan Amendment. And that's all I have.
All right. Well, we have very quickly arrived at the end of our agenda. So do we have anybody who would like to stay longer? Our audience members, they want to stay longer. I take a motion in a second.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And thank you so much. We are adjourned.
Thank y'all.
And if we have our disclosures ready to go, can we give them to Brinsley? Can we
Yeah,
give them to you?
Oh, and if the two of you, sorry, if Leslie and John, because of last time you read your disclosure for the master plan amendment.